Solomon Nkansa is a communications officer for the NDC. By me saying an officer doesn't mean it's a small position. It was an elected position at the last Congress of the NDC. Thanks for joining me this morning. But we have a lot more ongoing. We're just talking to Gifty Auntie and before then Eza and Kuma, because prominently before the close of the working day yesterday, one personality for OccupyGhana OG, George Andah, declared his interest in participating in the primaries of the NPP for the Awutu Senya constituency, Awutu West constituency. And, well, the criticism and the backlash also has come from your party's national organizer, Kofi Adams, that, well, it was all a facade all along, even though that has been disputed by Ace and Koma and the rest of the crew from OccupyGhana. Your own observation so far?
Well, Roland, let me extend my greetings to your cherished viewers and also urge the NDC following not to do that, however, for these challenges as in energy crisis will be a thing of the past by the middle up to the third quarter of the year, because we are putting things in place to make sure that we come out of it very stronger and will never fall back into such an unpleasant situation in this country. For me, what I would say is that the NPP seem well organized in opposition, applying all manner of...
I don't get you. What do you mean they seem well organized?
You see, this OccupyGhana, AFAG...
They are all pressure groups.
They are not. They are surrogate groups of the NPP. And it is well organized to the extent that you only have to read through and look at certain personalities who are the forerunners of those organizations. Then you understand and appreciate how the opposition NPP is trying to marshal forces. And this brings to fore the tattered credibility of the opposition NPP and why they've resorted to using these groups to rake in some political dividends. And so you don't need to dispute what our sister and an astute journalist and then an established
lawyer.
No, the lady who is communication consultant now. You remember around 98, 2000, former information minister, Honorable Oboshi Kofi, started a program, Straight Talk.
What about it?
Straight Talk. And it was one of the strategies to psych up and shape the opinion of the day. You understand?
It was targeted mainly at young people.
Yes, to shape the opinion.
And they were talking about issues of the day, and we all loved watching it on TV.
Yeah, come on.
What's wrong with it?
It's like the opposition then. It worked for them. When they won power, they rewarded her.
Oh, you can't be serious. The Straight Talk was focusing on socio-economic issues.
Correct. And they bring aspects.
On teenage pregnancy,
and other things.
On marriages,
fine.
On issues. But not,
when the
not
going got tough then, when one corpse is dumped somewhere, as in the serial killing, it got discussed.
Well, sure. It was a big issue there.
Yeah.
Because various murders were being committed, but becoming or remaining unresolved by the establishment of the day.
No. So who has been able to resolve that?
And there was extreme insecurity in the country at the time.
Oh, it wasn't. It was the making of opposition to sustain fear and insecurity in that time, so that it will inure to their benefit. And finally, it helped them, it aided them. That was one of the catchphrases of the opposition. Should we win election, serial killing will cease. Their former chairman,
Odoye
Sykes. You understand? As soon as they want to, it cease without any investigations, any other thing. So I am not enthused, and I'm not surprised about this. Sankuma's attempt to try to defend the indefensible. He himself is known as an opposition ally.
That's perceived.
Oh, my brother.
You're always on the defensive, some critics will say. Now, George Andah, we know, has been a prominent corporate person specializing in marketing as well as marketing communications. I've had great stints with big corporate giants in our country and also in West Africa.
Correct.
I mean, if somebody like that, whether he was a member of or is a member of Occupy Ghana or not, expresses an interest to contest the primaries of the NPP because it is the leading opposition party, that doesn't make him a bad resource, does it?
No, nobody is saying it's a bad resource. But what we are saying is that he has tried to engineer the consent of the citizenry. You understand? He undertook an activity that Ghanaians who do not understand those activities would think that, oh, they were on a just cause. But they weren't on a just cause.
You mean they had an agenda all along?
Agenda all along. And it's only good for us in NDC that he has exposed.
So to you, it was a map-up strategy?
That is it.
And you saw it coming all along?
No, it has come as a good news and a good omen for us as a party in government. Ghanaians are very clever and courageous. So when you do things that you think that you are doing that to deceive them, when they come to the realization that you are a deceitful person, you are somebody who ought not to be trusted, they will not tell you.
But how do you determine who is supposed to be trusted among the names being speculated on, and whether they will be trusted by Ghanaians or not?
Based on where they are coming from.
Where are they
you
coming
don't need anybody to tell that somebody in the corporate world cannot be a partisan politician.
Why?
So to speak. Now,
we have many politicians. Weren't you working before you become a politician?
That is why you don't need to tell me the background of Judge Andah. You understand? His background does not preclude him from belonging to a political party. But because he was not honest and sincere, he decided to come to
What do you mean
somewhere.
he was not honest and sincere?
Politically. You see, Occupy Ghana.
You mean,
if you
listen,
tell them.
You mean when he left the corporate world, he should have just said, my next interest is politics. He
no, he doesn't even need to tell anybody.
He shouldn't have gone the route of...
through that angle. You see, angle is a very deceptive angle. Yeah, that is very deceitful. Because the party NPP that he...
okay, let me ask you this. Your government, you're supposed to be resolving an energy crisis that has continued or... continued for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
You keep giving deadlines.
Yes.
And nothing has been done to resolve the difficulty.
Yeah.
Even as at now, by next month, we're supposed to be coming into the system new power badges streaming into May.
Yeah.
Nobody's seeing an end in sight of the difficulties that we're facing. If the opposition is available, is a body that can provide the alternative, and you have good thinkers and also good resources like George Andah and the rest, Egbe Fabio, who also want to contribute their quota, not to your party but to the opposition, what is wrong with that?
For instance, if we had in opposition men of great minds, then today you and I should be reading through their preferred alternative solutions to the energy crisis. If you ask the opposition, what else do they have? They will say they are not in government. You understand?
Well, truly, they are not in government.
But it doesn't mean that you cannot provide alternative solution as a way of sustaining.
You're supposed to be the party in power. You're supposed to form the government to be ruling.
Form the government.
To be providing or preferring the best solution.
We are faced with challenges. We've admitted. We've come out. We've tried. By the president using a transformational leadership, things that communication could sustain and bring Ghanaians on board so that we could achieve what we've set before us. So based on that, when you go for technical meetings and he's briefed, what he comes to do is that he also come and tell the Ghanaians that, my brothers, don't waver. Energy crisis will be solved in the next month. The president is not a technical man, but he believed that he was being told the truth. So you come and say it in an anticipation that Ghanaians will see that he's on course and he's working. If it happens that those promises do not come to fruition, he comes back to apologize. And at a point, he even said that he will not promise again. And this was brought to bear last week, Thursday, at Abuade, when he went there, and the engineer said, speak to the country. It's your word, not my word. You understand? He has learnt lessons out of that. because earlier on he thought that by engaging Ghanaians and being in front of the solution, you think that Ghanaians will appreciate. But then certain things.
Well, somebody will say the solutions were no solution because we didn't have a positive outcome.
There were predictions that never worked, but that is not to say that nothing is being done. We are doing something.
So what do you make of all the positions being taken by some prominent people? Not necessarily only of OccupyGhana, but who would want to express their interest
what is the meaning
to
of
become
prominent
political?
people?
So you are
they are Ghanaians.
Okay, they are Ghanaians.
They are Ghanaians, and they are joining opposition NPP. Perhaps the NPP want to make big issues out of that so as to show up their image, you understand? So I don't underestimate that. It's one of the public relation strategies that if you don't manage it well...
Somebody will say your party is very much uncomfortable because if you take the personality of
Awutu Senya West,
also
do you know the person is going to square?
Who?
The foreign minister.
But she hasn't won the primaries yet.
No, what I'm saying that, no, what you need to do is compare the two personalities and see who will swallow who. You understand? So why must NDC get worried about George Andah getting on board? You understand? We are concerned with the issues confronting the nation, the energy crisis, the threat of galamsey against our water bodies, among others. These are things the government is concerned with. As for somebody picking a slot as an opposition candidate for 2016, by September 2016, then you get to know where the wheat will be separated from the chaff. So you just don't worry. Let us pick things one after the other. For now, it's the NPP's day. They are in their parliamentary.
So you're still very much resolute.
You're not resolute and determined
about all these personalities that have been mentioned, who could also beef up the strength as far as the human resource capital of the opposition NPP.
Don't talk about the human resource capital because they've not demonstrated. If indeed they were there, and the NPP had a press conference with this economic issue, with this energy issue, and the next point is I want to ask them, what do you make of this? What is your alternative to what Mama has made? They say they are not in government. But in nowadays, when we're in opposition, we're offering them quality alternatives. And so if all of them are there, and we're there and continue to be there, then I think that the NPP, perhaps they may have the names.
So